Woodstock didn't have anything on 4-H club camp. There's some of you who will remember, and most of you probably won't, but this was an annual event somewhere around Ocean Springs. I have not thought of 4-H club camp in many decades, probably, but it was pretty wild. I must have been like 5 years old or something when I went, because it seemed like I was in one category and everybody else was about 8 steps ahead of me. But I guess that wasn't too unusual anyway. Uh, I put some labels up above, and I could have put more. These are just things that came to my mind when I think about it. I believe I went at least twice, maybe 2 or 3 times. I can remember that I loved going, even though being a littler one, you had to put up with some junk like uh, your bed being filled with pine straw and shaving cream and stuff like that. Uh, but boy, being able to be off for however long it was, I think it was like 2 nights, maybe like Friday and Saturday night. I don't remember exactly. But the bus ride down and the bus ride back, which was pretty rough, uh, was it was a lot of fun. And if you were like I always was, I always had my eye on the older girls, and I was probably drooling all over myself, and then great admiration for the older guys. For some reason, I remember Dalton Mule Johnson dancing. I think it was called the Alligator. He was on the floor. I remember he was dancing with a really pretty girl, but I can't think for the life of me who she was. I can see her kind of, and I even think I know maybe who it was, but I'm not going to call a name because I'm not sure. But it was cool. And I remember the trips out to Ship Island, and at least for me, getting sick at least once. Uh, Picking up seashells and just all the stuff that we did. We did some educational stuff too, and I'm not sure who went with us on those trips. I'm guessing Mr. Monroe had to have gone. I can't in my mind's eye see him, or Carol or Jane, but I know they had to be involved. And this was I'm almost positive before Ray Reynolds came, that I'm thinking of at least. And I don't know if this continued on into future generations, but 4-H camp was it was a pretty wild time for a kind of a sheltered backwoods group of folks like us, and especially me. Maybe everybody else wasn't, but it was pretty eye-opening, and I couldn't wait, even though you did have to put up with a little junk. For some reason, I remember us driving through Hattiesburg, which of course was on the way, and this was when it was all 2 lane, and we pulled up to a red light right there around Southern somewhere, and there was Freddie Lee standing there looking like $1 million, all dressed up. It was raining, and he had an umbrella. He just looked like the coolest guy in the world, and he was in my sight, still is. And so just a myriad of reflections. I'm hoping that some of you that have better memory and maybe we're older and remember some of those things will be willing to share some comments about that. I can assure you that unless you took someone's life, and I don't think that happened because we would have heard about that, then the statute of limitations is run on everything. So you can feel free to comment on it. And maybe some of the older groups, there are a few people older than me, they may have had experiences that were even completely different. I don't know. but it came to my mind and I thought I'd share it. It's a part of our shared Franklin County history as the country boys and girls go to town. 4-H club camp.